What's up, YouTube? Knight's Edge here again. Got a pretty cool little review for you of a pretty cool knife. This one was sent to me by Karco. This is actually going to be the big 3K giveaway knife. I don't know when this video will post. I'll probably end up posting after the giveaway. So whoever the winner is, you can check the review out if you want to. Pretty neat little knife. Thanks, Karco, and all the people that have sent me knives. Can't do it without you. Hit the like button if you like my content. Subscribe if you want more of it. I really appreciate it, guys. Hey, if you want to be a channel member, Patreon, all that's linked down below. Well, Patreon is. Join my Discord. Got a lot of cool knives for sale on there too. And let's get into it. This is the Maxace Kestrel. I'd never heard of this one until Karco said he was sending it. And I thought that was pretty nice of him, man. Pretty nice little knife. So Maxace is a Chinese company. They do, I think, a little bit of OEM work. I'm not sure. They might not. Actually, Maxace puts out a lot of their own designs. I'm going to show the only other one I have here off here in a minute. So let's go ahead and do a overview of it. Get the tape measure here. Let's see what we got. All right. So tip of the blade into the handle. You are looking at 8 3/8 from the tip of the blade to where the handle meets up with the blade itself right there. You're looking right at 3 7/8. If you go maybe a little more, maybe 3 15/16. If you go all the way back to right there where it actually meets up with the handle, got a little bit of a choil there. And your sharpened edge length, you're looking almost 3 5/8. If you measure laterally, if you measure this way, like across the belly, you're looking at 3 3/4. So pretty good. What I would say is the in my definition anyway, of a full size knife. That overall, well over 8 inches. So get the calibers out here. All right. Let's see what she's got. We'll do the thickest part of the spine. Looking at 153 thousandths on the thickest part of the spine. We'll do it right here on the belly. So you probably end up doing the majority of your cutting at, it looks like, unless you're like puncturing. Around 21 thousandths right there. And well over half an inch, 513 thousandths. Thickest part of the spine. Sorry about that. 513 thousandths, a little over half an inch for the handle thickness on that one. Whew. All right, let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. This will kind of show you how big this thing is. I mean, it's not like an XL knife, I don't think, but I mean, it's still definitely a full-size knife. So you got the cold steel knives, 80-10. Now you can tell right there, you can tell that the profile is more narrow, kind of more slim, a lot more slim than the bulkiness there of the 80-10. While almost having the same overall length. It's pretty close. Definitely longer than the 80-20.5 Demko slicer for sure. Get a couple more out here. A couple more of the usual suspects. You got Ontario Knives Rat Model 1 and your Ontario Knives Rat Model 2. All right, so almost identical to the overall length of the Rat 1, actually a little bit longer if you include that lanyard apparatus there. It's not really a lanyard hole, it's like a lanyard loop, I guess. And last but not least, Spyderco Paramilitary 2. Well, almost last but not least, and your Spyderco Para 3. So definitely what I would say is a full-size knife. And these are Flytanium scales. Just a little bit of a reference there that I have on the Paramilitary 2. Now, let's see. Let me get out the one. This is the only Maxace that I have in the collection. They do some pretty good stuff. They got a lot of great knives. I just don't have any more of them right now. That is the Maxace Black Mirror. I did a review on that one a while back. Pretty good little knife, man. Absolutely love the Black Mirror. And you can tell a lot of their kind of design language is similar, that they kind of fit the finish, but definitely a lot different than the Black Mirror. Maxace has a lot of different stuff too. I mean, they got the Goliath, they've got You know, if you want to get crazy, they got like the Hephaestus, a lot of crazy overbuilt knives, and they also do a few kind of more reasonable size, everyday carry friendly, I guess, knives. Sorry about that. Let's get a weight on this bad boy. Get out the scale here. Fairly light. It feels really light, for especially for a knife that's over, you know, that's that long and overall length, and has essentially a 4-inch blade almost, with 3 3/4 cutting edge. I'm gonna guess, if I had to guess, I'd say probably about 4.5 ounces maybe. See how far off I am this time. Lighter than I thought, 3.9, so it's almost right at the ounce and inch ratio, which is pretty good. If you subscribe to that, that's definitely not an issue in the pocket, I don't think, at all. So you know, that weight is pretty good by me. Let's see if they did a little bit of internal milling here. Can't stop flipping this thing, man. Yeah, did a little bit of internal milling going on there. Not really, right? Just kind of like a slab on each side. Got that big hole right there on that back spacer. Now, this one is, well, I'm going to go into that here in a second whenever I do the actual review. Now, let's see. Got the KnivesShipFree driver here. I'm thinking T8, but I'm not 100%. Yeah, T8. So, is that T8 too? Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah, T8. Let's see, captive pivot, which is awesome. T8 hardware on the body, awesome. Is that a little loose? No. So yeah, T8 all the way around. Pocket clip is inside of the handle, the screw is, so that's pretty cool. Not a ambidextrous pocket clip. Hidden hardware on the pocket clip, which is pretty cool. T8 all across the board. And T8 on the pivot with a captive pivot. Awesome job on the hardware there. So let's go ahead. We'll move kind of towards the design aesthetic, ergonomics overview, what review, you know, that I think about the knife. All right, so the materials, you're looking at carbon fiber inlay there, and you are, well, handle scales, I guess. Kind of odd on this one, and you're looking at titanium on that, whatever that is. I mean, it's kind of like a back spacer, right? But it extends the whole way and on the side, so a little bit unusual there. Bowler M390 on the steel that is hardened according to their website, 59 to 60 HRC. M390 is, you know, no slouch as far as edge retention, corrosion resistance, kind of the beginnings of the super steel category, I guess, you know, depending on your take on it. A lot of people have a lot of different opinions about that. Some people don't care. Some people are super care about that. So yeah, that's Bowler M390. Really good, really unique profile on this one. I would have to say this is a fairly unique knife. I really wanted to keep this one, but I figured, yeah, it would be good to do a giveaway on it, you know. But this is a pretty cool one. You got that carbon fiber, really nice pattern on there. We got kind of a close up there. All right, really nice pattern on that carbon fiber, reminiscent of a few other things I've seen from Maxace, just looking at videos and stuff on that carbon fiber pattern. Really neat. You got the titanium lock bar. Lock bar engagement is pretty good. You can, if you flip this thing lightly like that, is very lightly, it is possible to fail it, right? So whenever you flip it open, if you flip it open, you don't have to flip it hard, just flip it fairly, you know, good enough. That lock bar engagement could be a little bit better. It's one of the only complaints I do have about that knife. But flip it normally, you know, front flip it normally, open like that, it will engage. And that's something that can, you know, also be easily adjusted, I think. Once you clear the detent, you hit the detent right there, you clear it. Falls pretty shut, right? Kind of glides shut. Give it a little bit of a shake, not much. pretty cool. Really smooth action on this one. Now the front flipper, really aggressive. Some people won't like it, some people will. I've kind of, I don't know. I mean, front flippers, initially I hated them, you know, but now I've experienced quite a few knives with front flippers that actually work. And as far as a front flipper being the only opening mechanism on a knife, I am usually almost always not a big fan of that. But on this one, it's a little bit different. Now that is a really aggressive, you know, front flipper sticking out there. Maybe they could have put a stud on it, you know, kind of went down a little bit with that, put a stud to have another opening method, maybe not. I don't know, but the front flipper on this one works exceptionally well. This is one of the reasons I was thinking about keeping this thing, was the front flipper is very easy to actuate. I mean, it's very fidgety too. You've been kind of watching me throughout the video kind of fidget around with it. It is definitely fun to open and close. I can index it super easy, you know, open it with your thumb. I don't know the proper term for that. Pretty easy. Front flip it like that. Works pretty well for that. So that is the front flipper. The jimping extends all the way up here. Now ergonomically, choke back, if you go all the way back, you got that little kind of notch right there where it goes down, that ergonomic line, I guess you could call it, where it goes down right there. Not really the place to be, choked all the way back. Kind of mid choke, I guess you could call it, right there. You still got a full extra space for a pinky finger right there. If you've got larger hands than mine, I wear an XL glove, or I wear a large glove. I have, I guess, average size hands. So definitely comfortable in the kind of middle choke position. Now choked up, you can kind of rest your finger right here, somewhere in between that first and second knuckle there, and get pretty comfortable on that. You can't choke all the way up right there because that cutout is not deep enough for that. But you know, right there, pretty much, if I'm gripping the knife anyway, whenever I handle it, right here is where I'm at with it. That is pretty locked in, pretty comfortable, very nice. It is well rounded. Let me get wipe this off. That satin finish is definitely a smudge and fingerprint magnet. So I forgot what I was even talking about. It's terrible. That's terrible in the middle of a review. Come on, man. Shit. All right. So that is a fingerprint magnet on that satin finish on that. This knife is very ergonomic. I think I'm a big fan of it. Kind of not as comfortable choked up, not as comfortable all the way back, but right there in that middle of the line kind of grip, I guess you could say, it is solid and locked in. And I really like that about it. This design, as I was saying earlier, you kind of got, this is like a backspacer maybe. I don't know the proper term for that, but it is, I mean, it is a backspacer, right? It goes all the way up there on the back, but it encompasses the sides too. So that's pretty unique. A little bit of jimping there. Kind of got some contouring going on. Definitely no sharp edges anywhere on it. Really comfortable, I think, in my opinion. I like how they, you know, they've got the flat heads that are kind of sunk in, no hardware sticking out. Really nice on that. And it kind of works, right? I mean, this is a kind of a, not crazy for Maxace, but definitely a different, you know, than your run-of-the-mill, you know, what you see every day kind of, you know, looking knife profile. But I really like it. I think they did a good job on it. The two complaints I would have are, you know, that lock bar engagement needs to be a little bit more, I think. And also, maybe if they could have put another opening method on there, it would have been nicer. I don't know, but that opening method works fine for me. But I could see how someone would maybe want like a thumb stud or some other option to kind of open it. But yeah, really smooth action, really good fit and finish. M390 on the blade, really light, I think, compared to a lot of other knives in its size category. So I think the Maxace Kestrel is a pretty good knife. I'm gonna put it on my most recommended knives playlist. The price is not bad at all either. It is fairly competitive. I'm looking at them right now on White Mountain for a new one, and it's $198, and you can find them in various places for cheaper than that. They also have a like a more budget version. Let's see. I think the budget version itself has G10 and G10 on the budget version with aluminum handles, and the budget version is 138. So, pretty good design on that as well. So pretty neat. Overall, Maxace Kestrel, really awesome knife. I really like it. I think it's a solid knife for my, kind of the headliner, I guess, knife for my 3K giveaway. Hopefully you guys like it. And I mean, it is kind of a, bit of a polarizing design. And you've also, kind of failed to mention, but you got this little lanyard loop on the end if you're into lanyards. It's not too obtrusive sticking out, but I guess I'm glad they didn't kind of put a hole right here and lower down the pocket clip, so that's good. In the pocket, actually, didn't do that. Always do that, but I forgot this time. In the pocket, put it up with the blue jeans there. Sits in the pocket pretty nice, I think, right? No issues with that. It is kind of a slim profile, as I said earlier, especially for such a long knife. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope whoever wins this really enjoys it. I know I definitely enjoyed my time with it, and really appreciate you guys supporting me. It's crazy to be at this. 3K is nuts to me. I never thought, a year ago I didn't even, didn't even have a channel. So kind of crazy. So appreciate everyone watching, and I hope you guys have a good evening, morning, rest of your day, and I will see y'all on the next one.